Well, we made it. With 2018 looming over us, I thought it'd be nice to look back at some of the great games that 2017 has given us. No doubt 2017 will be mostly remembered as the year Nintendo officially re-entered the ring and took the gaming world by storm with the Switch. I had my doubts about this thing, but I'm sold on it now to the point where I'm buying some games on Switch over other consoles. We also had our fair share of controversy surrounding the ethics of loot boxes this year, but despite that, it's impressive to note just how many good and honest games released too. And this was meant to be the year where single player games died. But upon a final review of this list, I realised none of them have any form of online multiplayer attached to them. It just goes to show that some really damn good games came out this year, and if you're watching this for recommendations, or just want to remember and celebrate some great games, let me tell you can't go wrong with anything on this list. Number 10. Resident Evil 7. I kinda lost interest with this franchise for a little while, but Capcom caught my attention when it decided to ditch its actiony tone and go straight back to its horror roots with Resident Evil 7. The game is mercilessly tense, and it has a nasty habit of knowing exactly when to drop something into the mix to raise the old blood pressure. It's all held together with an overwhelming amount of atmosphere that takes heavy inspiration from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it sets the mood perfectly using some of the best visuals I've ever seen in a game. Now I just wish I had the courage to play through some more of it.
Come and get me, you white-ass fascist Nazi pigs.
Number 9. Wolfenstein II: The New Colossus. I have issues with this game, but I can't get over just how damn fun it all feels when everything comes together. Shooting and slicing up Nazis never felt better, and I personally feel that the dual-wield ability that's used in this game is severely underpraised. It's so satisfying to pepper a foe with a few rounds of a submachine gun and finish him off with a shotgun blast without ever having to change a weapon. The game's story, while short, is surprisingly good, and supported by a great cast of interesting and well-realised characters. BJ Blazkowicz's second chapter took me through one of the best and bloodiest single-player FPS campaigns I've played in a long time. Number 8. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. You know you're in for a hell of a ride when the game's mental health advisor is credited before any other member of the development team. You follow Senua on her quest to bargain with the goddess of hell to save the soul of a loved one. Catch is, she suffers from psychosis and is being haunted by the voices inside her head. Her struggle with her own personal demons is made that much more human through some groundbreaking use of facial motion capture that looks phenomenal. It's occasionally marred by some very obvious gameplay tropes that don't gel into this style of game as seamlessly as it should, but stick with it, because Senua's quest stands out as one of 2017's most distinctive campaigns. Number 7. Cuphead. It feels like I've been waiting years to play this one, and it didn't disappoint one jot. Don't be fooled by its whimsical hand-drawn art though. The fiendishly tricky boss fights are the real meat of this game, and they'll ruin you in the best kind of way. Your commitment to beating each of the game's creative bosses is always rewarded with a huge feeling of accomplishment that quickly becomes addictive. Come for the charm but stay for the challenge. Cuphead will push you to your absolute limits, but it's all worth it for those sweet, sweet victories. Number 6. Sonic Mania. Sonic has fallen on some hard times over the years, starring in some of the worst games in recent memory, but Sonic Mania is an honest return to glory and more. The fans turned developers have nailed the classic Sonic feel and control with some excellent level design to boot. While the returning stages are a nice throwback, the brand new stages are real winners here. Any of them could be mistaken for a 90s Sonic level, and they play just as well too. Don't miss out on this love letter to classic Sonic if you have any fondness for the originals and just want to go fast. Number 5. Night in the Woods. This game is the definition of an indie darling. Night in the Woods is about coming home and realising that so much about what your whole life was about growing up has started moving on without you. While an underlying mystery drives the story, most of your game time will be spent doing normal day-to-day things like hanging out with friends, which you'll begin to cultivate remarkably powerful and genuine relationships with, since they act just like real people. They each have a unique sense of humour, life goals and concerns, and spending time with them has been a real highlight of 2017, and to seal the deal, it has a lovely art style that repeatedly impresses. Number 4. Super Mario Odyssey. Believe the hype. Mario Odyssey is every bit as good as it looks. Mario's sense of mobility and control has never been sharper, and the freedom the game gives you in exploring its wondrous kingdoms is a real breath of fresh air. Its central capture mechanic is just inspired, making for some hugely entertaining and upbeat gameplay, since everything from controlling a leaping frog to driving Mario on a motorbike is just pure joy. Its greatest success lies in its ability to respect what came before it and then building on it, rather than simply cashing in on nostalgia. Mario Odyssey is a gorgeous, sprawling adventure that kept a smile on my face. Number 3. Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight is living proof that big things come in small packages. You play as a tiny bug knight wandering through the crumbling kingdom of Hollow Nest. While the world seems dangerous and labyrinthian, there's always tiny pockets of comfort to be found, giving you just enough reason to fight for this hand-drawn world. Even after you think you've seen it all, the game keeps on giving, with new zones, enemies and characters to interact with. Its scale genuinely blew me away when I considered just how cheaply I picked this game up for. Excellent controls, tight combat and unbeatable sense of progression make it one of the best Metroidvanias I've ever played. Number 2. What Remains of Edith Finch. Now, I don't like to brag. I've played a lot of games over the years, and after a while you really begin to value an experience that truly makes you say wow at least once, and Edith Finch managed to do that every 20 minutes. You play as a young girl trying to piece together her family tree and gain a better understanding of the curse that looms over her ancestors. In doing so, you step into the shoes of your relatives to experience how they met their untimely fate within mini-chapters, each with their own control gimmick which helps you form a better connection with each character. It's only 2 hours long, but it's expertly paced, taking the player through creative and poignant set pieces that will stick with you. Number 1. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. This new Zelda shakes up the existing formula in every conceivable way, while still maintaining the heart and soul of the franchise. It respects the intelligence of the player at all times, and there are so many little touches across the board, it's clear that the developers wanted to make a very special experience, and that quality endures throughout, making it the best Zelda in years. Wandering the world of Hyrule is something I keep coming back to, and I'll never forget my first few hours in Link's shoes. Every facet of the game design encourages you to tap into your primal urge to explore and go on an adventure, and it's amazing how effortlessly it manages to invoke that feeling over and over again.